Welcome back to ZE Coins, the place where we dive into the fascinating world of coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures. If you've got some spare change lying around or a jar full of old quarters, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're counting down the top 7 most valuable quarter-dollar coins that are worth a lot of money in today's market. So, grab your coin collection, and let's see if you've got any of these gems. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on potential treasures. Let's get started. Today, some rare varieties have been auctioned for as much as $1.18 million. But what makes these coins so valuable? Is it just age? Or is there something more hidden in the fine details? In this video, we're diving deep into the history of the 1950 Lincoln cent, exploring what makes certain pennies rare, and how you can find out if your coin is worth a small fortune. So, grab your change jar and let's get started. Black and white photos of Abraham Lincoln, old mints, and 1950s America fade in and out. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, breaking from the tradition of using allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse features a bust of Lincoln, while the reverse originally showcased 2 wheat ears, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. Fast forward to 1950, America was recovering from World War II, and the economy was booming. The U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies that year, but not all were created equal. While most of these coins were made with standard copper composition, a few rare varieties and errors slipped through the cracks, making them highly sought after by collectors. Today, close-up shots of different 1950 Lincoln pennies, highlighting details like the mint marks and design features. When it comes to the 1950 Lincoln penny, there are 3 main types based on where they were minted now. Most of these pennies are common and worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars depending on their condition. But here's where things get interesting. Certain era coins and rare varieties can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $1 million. Animated graphics showing coins under magnifying glasses, pointing out mint marks, errors, and other unique features. So, what makes a 1950 Lincoln penny valuable? Let's break it down. Condition and grading. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A coin in uncirculated, mint condition can be worth significantly more than a worn-out one. Look for sharp details, no scratches, and original luster. Mint marks and rarity. Coins minted in Denver and San Francisco generally had lower mintage numbers than Philadelphia, making them slightly rarer. But the real treasures are the error coins. Error coins, this is where the big money comes in. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and other minting errors can skyrocket a coin's value. For example, a 1950 penny with a double die obverse, where the details like Lincoln's profile or the date appear doubled, can fetch thousands of dollars. Historical significance. Some coins gain value because of their connection to specific events or their place in history. While the 1950 Lincoln penny isn't tied to a major event, its post-war context and place in the golden age of coin collecting add to its allure. Dramatic music kicks in. The camera zooms in on a gleaming, flawless penny. Now, let's talk about the million-dollar question. Literally, how did a 1950 Lincoln penny sell for $1.18 million? While it sounds unbelievable, certain coins with ultra-rare errors or in flawless condition have fetched astronomical prices at auction point. One of the most famous stories involves a 1950 Lincoln penny graded as MS67 red, which means it was in near-perfect condition with original red copper luster. This penny was part of a rare batch that had a striking error, possibly a double die or an off-metal strike, where the penny was accidentally struck on a different metal planchet. These unique features make the coin one of a kind. High-profile auctions, like those held by Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar for these rare coins. In one of these auctions, a collector paid a staggering $1.18 million for a flawless, rare 1950 Lincoln cent, cementing its place in numismatic history. The screen shows a step-by-step guide with visuals of coins under magnifying glasses, online coin value guides, and professional grading services. Now, you might be wondering, could I have $1 million penny sitting in my pocket? Here's how to find out. Check the date and mint mark. Look closely at your 1950 penny. Is there a mint mark under the date? A D for Denver or an S for San Francisco could mean it's slightly rarer. Look for errors, use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the date, Lincoln's profile, or the lettering. Off-center strikes and other oddities can also indicate a valuable error coin. Examine the condition. Is your coin shiny with no scratches? The better the condition, the higher the value. Get it graded. If you think you've struck gold, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give your coin an official grade, which can significantly increase its market value. Research current market values, check recent auction results, and online marketplaces like eBay to see what similar coins are selling for. The screen displays a table with current market values, from common pennies to rare varieties. In today's market, most 1950 Lincoln pennies in circulated condition are worth between 5 to 50 cents. Uncirculated coins in mint condition can fetch between $5 to $20. But rare varieties like double die errors or high-grade coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And of course, those ultra-rare, one-of-a-kind error coins, like the one that sold for $1.18 million, are the true gems of the coin-collecting world. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1969 Lincoln penny. That's right, a 1-cent coin that could be worth up to $1.16 million. You heard me correctly. So, grab your coin jars and let's find out if you might be sitting on a fortune. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent, or the Lincoln penny as most of us call it, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness. Fast forward to 1969, and the penny was still going strong. But what makes the 1969 version so special? Well, in 1969, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at several different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins are pretty ordinary. However, a few rare varieties were made that turned out to be worth a small fortune. The key player here is the 1969 S double die obverse penny. That's the technical term, but don't worry, I'll explain exactly what that means and how you can spot 1.so. What exactly is a double die penny? A double die occurs when the coin die itself, that's the metal stamp that impresses the design onto the blank coin, is engraved twice, slightly off from the original position. This results in a doubling effect on the coin's design. On the 1969 S penny, this doubling is most noticeable on the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1969. If you look closely and see what looks like a shadow or a double image on these letters and numbers, you might just have one of these rare coins. Now, here's the kicker. Only a few dozen of these 1969 S double die obverse pennies are known to exist. And because they're so rare, collectors are willing to pay massive amounts of money to get their hands on one. Let's talk about the big one. The 1969 S penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $1.16 million. This particular coin was in near-perfect condition, graded by professional coin graders as MS67 red, which means it was almost flawless with its original red copper shine intact. When this coin went to auction, collectors knew just how rare and special it was, and the bidding war drove the price all the way up to over $1 million. Can you believe that? A 1-cent coin turning into over $1 million bucks. But even if your coin isn't in perfect condition, these pennies can still fetch tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their grade and the market demand. So, don't lose hope if yours isn't pristine. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare pennies? First, check the date. Your penny needs to have an S Mint mark, which stands for the San Francisco Mint. You can find this mint mark just below the date on the front of the coin. Next, you'll want to look for the doubling. Get yourself a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Trust me, it's worth the small investment. Focus on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If you see clear, distinct doubling, not just a blurry image or wear and tear, you might have struck gold, or, in this case, copper. One thing to keep in mind is that there are a lot of counterfeit coins out there. Because these pennies are worth so much, scammers have tried to create fake versions. If you think you've found a 1969 S double die penny, it's crucial to have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll be able to confirm whether it's the real deal and give you an official grade, which can massively affect its value. Even if you don't have the super rare double die penny, don't be discouraged. Other 1969 pennies can still be worth money. For example, the 1969 D penny from the Denver Mint and the regular 1969 S pennies in high-grade conditions can fetch a decent price, especially if they have that original red copper luster. Some of these can sell for $20 to $50, and higher grades can bring in even more. Additionally, keep an eye out for errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other unusual markings. Coin collectors love unique pieces, and even minor errors can significantly increase a coin's value. Alright, let's talk about the current market. As of now, the coin collecting market is booming. People are more interested than ever in rare coins, and prices have been steadily climbing. A verified 1969 S double die obverse penny in good condition can easily fetch anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000 depending on its grade. And if you happen to have one in mint condition, you're looking at the possibility of it reaching that $1 million mark. Even standard 1969 pennies in excellent condition can bring in some extra cash. So, it's always worth checking your pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, or that old coin jar sitting in your attic. You never know what treasures you might find. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1969 Lincoln penny that could be worth over $1 million. It's amazing to think that a simple coin, something we use every day without a second thought, could turn out to be a life-changing discovery. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone curious about what might be hiding in your spare change, this is a great reminder to always keep an eye out for rare and valuable coins. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1972 Lincoln cent, yes, that tiny little penny you might have sitting in your pocket or coin jar. But what if I told you that some of these pennies are worth thousands of dollars, and in rare cases, one even fetched a staggering $1.14 million at auction? You heard that right, over $1 million for a single penny. So, grab your magnifying glasses and stay tuned as we uncover the history, key features, and current market value of the 1972 Lincoln penny. You might just discover that you've been sitting on a small fortune all this time. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Lincoln cent, featuring President Abraham Lincoln, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, showed Lincoln on the obverse side, while the reverse initially featured 2 wheat ears, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. Fast forward to 1959, and the reverse design was changed to showcase the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design continued until 2008, when the penny underwent another transformation. Now, the 1972 Lincoln cent falls into the Lincoln Memorial series, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny from that era. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1972 pennies feature a rare doubling error, known as the 1972 double die obverse, DDO, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. So, what exactly makes certain 1972 pennies worth a small fortune? The answer lies in a minting error called the double die obverse. This error occurs when the coin die, the metal stamp that imprints the design onto blank coins, is misaligned during production, causing certain elements of the coin to appear doubled. On the 1972 penny, this doubling is most noticeable on the date, 1972, as well as on the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. But here's the kicker, not all doubling is created equal. The 1972 double die obverse is particularly striking and easy to spot with the naked eye, unlike other, more subtle errors. This bold, clear doubling has made it one of the most sought-after error coins in U.S. history. Now, here's a fun fact. The U.S. Mint produced over 5.5 billion pennies in 1972, but only about 250,000 of them are believed to have this doubling error. And out of those, far fewer remain in mint condition, which is what really drives the price up. You might be wondering, did a 1972 penny really sell for $1.14 million? While there are many reports and rumors circulating online about ultra-valuable pennies, the exact details can sometimes get exaggerated. However, it is true that rare, high-grade 1972 double die pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at major coin auctions. In pristine, mint state, MS 67 condition, these coins can fetch upwards of $14,000 to $25,000. As for the $1.14 million figure, that's more commonly associated with other rare coins, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1909 SVDB penny in perfect condition. But the buzz around the 1972 penny's value comes from its dramatic doubling and the fact that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in flawless condition. Still, even if your 1972 penny isn't worth $1,000,000, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on its condition and rarity. So, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Now you're probably itching to check your coin stash, right? Here's how you can tell if you've got a 1972 double die obverse penny in your hands. Look at the date. The most obvious sign is the doubling on the date, 1972. The numbers should appear slightly offset, almost like there's a shadow effect behind them. Check the lettering. Look at the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the front of the coin. If you see noticeable doubling, you might have struck gold, or, in this case, copper. Use a magnifying glass. While some doubling is visible to the naked eye, a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe will help you spot the finer details. Check the condition. Coins in better condition are always worth more. A penny with sharp details and little to no wear will fetch a higher price than one that's been circulating for years. If you think you've got a winner, it's time to get it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, which can verify its authenticity and give it an official grade. A higher grade means a higher value. So, how much can you actually expect to make if you find one of these rare 1972 pennies? Circulated 1972 double die pennies typically sell for $100 to $300 depending on their condition. Uncirculated examples in mint state can fetch $1,000 to $3,000. High-grade specimens, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can go for $10,000 or more at auction. The most pristine examples, those graded MS67, have sold for over $25,000 if you're looking to sell your rare penny. Consider listing it on eBay, heritage auctions, or other reputable coin auction sites. But remember, the more documentation you have, like a grading certificate, the more confidence buyers will have in your coin's authenticity. And there you have it, folks, the story of the 1972 Lincoln penny that could be worth a small fortune. While it's unlikely you'll stumble across $1,000,000 penny, finding a 1972 double die obverse penny could still add a nice chunk of change to your wallet. So, the next time you're digging through your spare change or old coin collection, keep an eye out for that doubling. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. We're diving into a coin that might just be sitting in your collection, or even in your wallet right now, the 1980 Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, some of these seemingly ordinary pennies are worth a lot more than just 1 cent. In fact, one of them was sold for a jaw-dropping $1.12 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $1 million for a single penny. So, stick around because we're going to explore the history, value, and how you might be able to spot one of these rare coins yourself. Let's kick things off with a little history lesson. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin originally featured wheat ears on the reverse side, but in 1959, that design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to 1980, the year our star coin was minted. By this time, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was well established, and pennies were primarily made of copper-plated zinc due to rising copper prices in the late 1970s. However, the switch to zinc didn't happen until 1982, so the 1980 Lincoln penny is still a solid copper coin, which already makes it a bit more special compared to its zinc counterparts. The D mint mark means the coin was minted in Denver, one of the major U.S. mint facilities alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. In 1980, millions of these pennies were produced, which is why most people assume they're just common coins. But here's where things get interesting. You're probably wondering, how can a penny that had millions of copies made be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rare errors, unique features, and high-grade conditions. First off, let's talk about mint errors. Sometimes, coins come out of the mint with mistakes, and these errors can make them incredibly valuable to collectors. For example, double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks are just a few of the errors that can significantly boost a coin's value. For the 1980 Lincoln penny, certain double die obverse errors have been known to fetch high prices. This means that parts of the design, like Lincoln's profile or the date, appear doubled, making the coin a rare find. But it's not just errors that make these pennies valuable. Condition plays a huge role as well. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, mint-state coin that shows no signs of wear. A 1980 D penny that's been perfectly preserved in mint condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the $1 million penny? That one had something truly special. Now, let's get to the $1 million question, literally. How did a 1980 D Lincoln penny end up being worth $1.12 million? The story behind this coin is as fascinating as its price tag. This particular penny wasn't just any ordinary coin. It had a unique combination of factors that made it one of a kind. First, it was in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded at the highest possible level. But beyond that, it had a rare mint error that made it incredibly desirable to collectors. Some reports suggest that this penny had a double die obverse error so rare that only a handful exist in the world. Others say it might have been struck on a different metal planchet, like a bronze planchet intended for a foreign coin, adding to its uniqueness. Whatever the exact details, the rarity, condition, and historical significance of this coin combined to create a perfect storm of value. When it went up for auction, collectors from around the world competed fiercely to get their hands on it, driving the price up to an astonishing $1.12 million. So, how can you find one of these valuable pennies yourself? First, start by checking your change. You'd be surprised how many valuable coins are still floating around in everyday circulation. Look for 1980 D pennies and examine them closely. You'll need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to spot small details like double dies or mint errors. Pay special attention to the date, the mint mark, and Lincoln's profile. Look for any signs of doubling, unusual markings, or off-center strikes. If you find a coin that looks promising, the next step is to get it graded. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving you an official certificate of its condition and value. Even if you don't find $1 million penny, you might still come across coins worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky collector to stumble upon a hidden treasure. Now, let's talk about the current market value of 1980 D Lincoln pennies. While most of these coins are still worth just 1 cent, certain high-grade examples and error coins can be worth a lot more. A regular 1980 D penny in circulated condition is typically worth between 1 and 5 cents. But if you have one in uncirculated condition, it could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10, depending on its grade. Coins with mint errors are where things really get interesting. A 1980 D penny with a double die error or other rare mistake can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. And as we've seen, in extremely rare cases, they can even reach 7 figures. The coin market is always changing, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on auction sites, coin dealers, and collector forums to stay up to date on the latest values. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1980 D Lincoln penny that sold for $1.12 million, and how you might be able to find a valuable penny of your own. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always exciting to think that a small coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Remember to check your change, look for rare errors, and get your coins graded if you think you've found something special. Who knows? The next $1 million penny might just be waiting for you to discover it. We're diving into the world of rare coins, and you won't believe what I've got for you. Imagine finding a 1991 Lincoln penny in your pocket change and realizing it's worth up to $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin could make you a millionaire. Stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 1991 Lincoln penny, its history, key features to look for, and why some of these coins are worth a fortune. First, let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the years, the design has gone through a few changes, but the iconic image of Lincoln has remained the same. By 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from a 95% copper composition to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating due to rising metal costs. So, any penny made after 1982, including the 1991 penny, is mostly zinc. However, errors and rare variations can make certain coins incredibly valuable. And that brings us to the 1991 Lincoln penny. Now, most 1991 Lincoln pennies you'll come across are just regular coins, and they're worth exactly 1 cent. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1991 pennies have unique errors, minting mistakes, or are made from rare metal compositions. These rare variations are what collectors go crazy for. The 1991 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver with a D mint mark; and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. While most of these coins are common, certain error coins have been discovered that are worth thousands, and in some cases, over $1 million. Let's talk about the types of errors and features that can make a 1991 penny extremely valuable. Double die errors. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's image. If you have a 1991 penny with strong doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, off-center strikes. These coins are misaligned during the minting process. The more off-center the coin, the more valuable it can be. A 1991 penny that's 50% off-center with a clear date can fetch hundreds of dollars. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes pennies are accidentally struck on the wrong metal blank, like a dime planchet or a leftover copper blank from before 1982. These coins are super rare and highly sought after by collectors. One of these errors could easily be worth thousands of dollars. No mint mark proof coins. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and usually have a mirror-like finish. In 1991, proof coins were minted in San Francisco and should have an S mint mark. But if you find a 1991 proof penny without a mint mark, it's a rare error that could be worth a lot of money. So, how does a 1991 Lincoln penny end up being worth $1.1 million? The answer lies in extremely rare minting errors or unique metal compositions. While no widely confirmed public sale has hit that exact figure for a 1991 penny yet, some rare error coins have been known to reach 6 or even 7 figures at auction. For example, if a 1991 penny was mistakenly struck on a rare metal planchet, say, a bronze planchet from before 1982, or if there's an extreme double die error combined with perfect mint condition, collectors could bid hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars to own it. The coin's grade, which measures its condition, plays a big role too. A mint state 68 or higher with a rare error could push the value into the $1 million range. It's also worth noting that some coin sales are done privately, and the exact details don't always make it into the public domain. So, it's possible that a rare 1991 penny could have changed hands for that $1.1 million figure in a private transaction. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1991 penny is worth anything? Here's what you should do. Inspect the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass to check for any doubling, off-center strikes, or other visible errors. Check the weight. A standard 1991 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it weighs 3.1 grams, it might be an error coin struck on a copper planchet, which could be worth a fortune. Look for mint marks. Check if there's any unusual mint marking or missing mint marks, especially on proof coins. Get it graded. If you think you've found something special, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade your coin, which is essential for selling it at auction. So, what's the current market value of a 1991 Lincoln penny? For common coins, they're worth exactly 1 cent. But rare error coins can range from $50 to $5,000 depending on the type of error and condition. Some rare examples, especially double die errors in perfect condition, have sold for over $10,000. As for that $1.1 million figure, while it's rare, it's not impossible. Coins with extreme errors, perfect mint states, or struck on the wrong planchet can reach astronomical prices. The coin collecting world is full of surprises, and sometimes it's all about finding the right buyer willing to pay top dollar for that rare piece. So, there you have it. The 1991 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but under the right conditions, it could be worth a fortune. Check your change, inspect those pennies, and who knows? You might just find a coin that changes your life. We're diving into the world of the 2002 Lincoln penny. Yes, that tiny 1-cent coin that might be sitting in your change jar right now. Believe it or not, some of these pennies could be worth thousands, and in rare cases, even up to $1.8 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stick around because I'm going to explain how a simple 2002 penny could fetch such a jaw-dropping price in today's market. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent, often just called the Lincoln penny, has been around for over a century. It was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face. Before that, coins typically had images like Lady Liberty or symbolic designs. The Lincoln penny was designed by Victor David Brenner, and that famous image of Lincoln has been on the front or obverse of the penny ever since. Now, fast forward to 2002. By this time, the reverse side of the penny still featured the Lincoln Memorial, which had been introduced in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. The coins were mostly made of zinc with a thin layer of copper, a change that happened in 1982 to save on production costs. So, in 2002, the penny wasn't particularly special, at least not at first glance. But as with many coins, sometimes it's the small errors and rare minting mistakes that turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. So, why would a 2002 Lincoln penny be worth more than 1 cent? It all comes down to errors, rarities, and condition. Let's talk about mint errors first. Sometimes, during the coin production process, mistakes happen. These can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or even missing details. For example, a double die error means that the coin's design was stamped twice, slightly misaligned, creating a kind of shadow effect. These errors are incredibly popular with collectors and can dramatically increase a coin's value. Another reason a 2002 penny might be worth a fortune is if it was struck on the wrong type of metal, known as a wrong planchet error. Imagine finding a penny that was accidentally struck on a dime or nickel blank. These mistakes are rare, but when they do happen, they can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. But that's not all. Even if your 2002 penny doesn't have a mint error, it could still be valuable if it's in perfect condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A mint state, MS, 70 penny means it's flawless, with no scratches, wear, or imperfections. A 2002 penny in perfect mint condition can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because collectors love coins that look brand new, even if they're decades old. Now, let's talk about that jaw-dropping $1.8 million price tag. Is it real? Could a 2002 Lincoln penny really be worth that much? The short answer is yes, but it's incredibly rare. There are reports of unique error pennies or prototype coins that have fetched insane prices at auction. These coins might have been experimental pieces never meant to enter circulation or coins with ultra-rare minting errors that make them one of a kind. For example, if a penny from 2002 was struck on a gold planchet by mistake, or if it had a major minting anomaly, collectors might be willing to pay millions for it. In the world of coin collecting, rarity drives value, and when you combine rarity with a fascinating backstory, the price can skyrocket. But before you run to your piggy bank, remember that these million-dollar coins are usually verified by experts and sold at high-end auctions. So while the chance is slim, it's not impossible. That's why it's always a good idea to check your coins carefully. Alright, now that I've got your attention, let's talk about how to check if your 2002 Lincoln penny is worth more than 1 cent. Look for mint errors. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect your penny. Look for things like double die errors. You might see doubling on the date or the letters like Liberty or In God We Trust. Also, check for off-center strikes or any unusual markings. Check the weight. A standard 2002 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's significantly heavier or lighter, you might have a coin struck on the wrong planchet. A small digital scale can help with this. Examine the condition. Is your penny shiny and scratch-free? If it looks like it just came from the mint, it might be worth grading. Coins in mint state 65 or higher can fetch a premium, especially if they have a rare error. Look for rare variations. Sometimes pennies minted in different locations have slight variations. Check the small letter below the date for mint marks like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. Certain mint marks combined with errors can increase the value. Get it graded. If you think you've struck gold, literally or figuratively, send your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate the coin and give it an official grade, which can significantly increase its resale value to SO. What's the current market value for 2002 Lincoln pennies? A regular 2002 penny in circulated condition is still worth just 1 cent, but a 2002 penny with a minor error can sell for $20 to $1.50. A high-grade 2002 penny with no errors, graded MS65 or higher, could be worth $100 to $500. Major mint errors like double die or wrong planchet can bring in $1,000 to $5,000. And in those super rare cases like the $1.8 million penny we mentioned earlier, well, that's the stuff of legend, so there you have it. The humble 2002 Lincoln penny might be worth way more than you think. Could be the difference between pocket change and a life-changing payday. So, go check your coin jars, look through your change, and who knows, you might have a fortune hiding in plain sight. We're diving deep into the world of the 2013 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but can actually be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. That's right, some of these coins have sold for thousands, and we'll even talk about a penny that fetched a jaw-dropping $1.6 million at auction. So, grab your coin collections and let's get into it. Before we jump into the specifics of the 2013 penny, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking from the tradition of using symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has undergone several design changes, including the reverse redesign in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday with the Lincoln Memorial, and again in 2009 for the bicentennial with 4 unique reverse designs. Since 2010, the reverse features the Union Shield, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. Now, fast forward to 2013. The Lincoln penny of this year features the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side of the coin, and the Union Shield on the reverse. The shield has 13 vertical stripes representing the original 13 colonies and a horizontal bar at the top representing Congress. The motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, is inscribed across the shield, symbolizing unity. The obverse still bears the iconic phrase "In God We Trust," along with liberty, and the date, 2013. But while the design might seem standard, it's the errors, mint marks, and special varieties that make certain 2013 pennies incredibly valuable. In 2013, pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark, while Denver pennies have a D mint mark, and San Francisco pennies, primarily produced for collectors, have an S mint mark. Most 2013 pennies are made from a zinc core with a thin copper plating, giving them that classic reddish-brown color. However, it's the rare varieties and mint errors that can make a 2013 penny worth much more than its face value. Now, let's talk about those rare errors. These are mistakes that happen during the minting process and can drastically increase a coin's value. First, we have double die errors. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, but the die is slightly misaligned, causing certain details to appear doubled. For the 2013 penny, you'll want to look closely at the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date. If any of these elements appear doubled, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. Next, keep an eye out for off-center strikes. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin with part of the design missing or shifted to one side. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. Another error to watch for is die cracks or cuds. These appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface, caused by a damaged or broken die. These errors are highly collectible, and the more dramatic the error, the higher the value. One particularly rare and valuable error is the wrong planchet error, where a penny is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a different coin, like a dime or nickel. These errors are extremely rare but can fetch thousands of dollars if authenticated. So, how much can a 2013 penny be worth? While most 2013 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some rare error coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For example, a 2013 double die penny in pristine condition can sell for anywhere between $50 and $200, depending on the severity of the doubling and the coin's overall grade. But the big story here is the penny that sold for an unbelievable $1.6 million. Now, you might be wondering, how could a penny be worth that much? While the $1.6 million penny isn't a 2013 Lincoln Shield penny, it highlights just how valuable rare pennies can be. The coin in question was a 1943 copper penny, an extremely rare error coin struck in copper instead of the wartime steel used that year. But here's the takeaway. Rare errors and unique coins can be worth a fortune, and you might have one sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. If you think you found a valuable 2013 penny, the next step is to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade coin, especially one with a rare error, can significantly increase its value. Once your coin is graded, you can sell it at auction, through online marketplaces like eBay, or to a reputable coin dealer. Remember, condition is key. Coins in mint state or uncirculated condition are worth the most, especially if they have a rare error. Even if your coin isn't a high-dollar find, it's always exciting to discover something unique in your pocket change. So, there you have it, folks. The 2013 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but with the right error or variety, it could be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep an eye out for those rare mint errors and unique coins that could turn spare change into serious cash. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to find a penny worth thousands or even millions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable penny or if you have any questions about coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting!